to start with, congrats on bub number 2. How's everything going?
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, definitely still in the newborn stage, but enjoying it, and yeah, my other daughter is loving being a big sister.
Nice. And how's the hammy going coming back from that?
Yeah, it's good. Hammy is fully attached and yeah, ready to go. It's just working on those match minutes and building fitness.
Think you'll be back for the full game on the weekend or still off the bench?
I think I've still got some minutes to work towards before I get to 90, but yeah, looking to build on it.
With that Matilda's squad to be announced soon coming up for the Kiwis, hopefully you'll be back in there?
Yeah, hopefully. I think it'll be the sooner I can get back into camp and back around the girls. I think that'll also help with the fitness side of things. But yeah, I've definitely been missing camp these last 5 months or so. So yeah, hoping to get back in for that camp.
How do you feel the team's started so far this season?
Yeah, I think we've had a good start to the season. Obviously 2 wins. I think we haven't played our best football yet, so that's kind of the exciting part about it. And also exciting that we've got a new sort of home grounds that we've had a good result at so far already, even with the storm disruptions, and we had a good crowd out as well. So yeah, I think we've started well, but as I said, I think we're still building into the season.
I guess just a question firstly on the findings of the PFA survey today. What were your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think there are some harsh realities in there, but things that need to be highlighted. And I think, you know, I'm definitely a player that wants to keep propelling women's football forward, and these conversations need to be had to bring awareness to the types of issues that our players are dealing with, and to get our game to the fully professional level. So for me, I'm a big advocate for moving forward and continuing to grow, and I think the report sort of highlights the areas that we need to keep growing in.
Some of the things you found most concerning, I guess, or biggest, just wow kind of moments?
Yeah, I think as a player that's been in the game for a long time, those things didn't really surprise me. I have kind of, it's been in the women's game. It was kind of a little bit disheartening to see how much perhaps it had increased for the distressful things. But again, it highlights the areas that we need to make sure we look at for further support, and also when we are expanding the league, areas of focus that we need to bring up alongside and not get left behind.
You've played internationally, Meeks, and obviously back in the ALW now, but how far do you think, or where do you think this league needs to get to be a fully professional competition, and why does it need to get to that urgently for the sake of women?
Yeah, I think there's just been a massive boom in women's football across the globe, and you'll see that with transfers and a lot of sort of revenue that is being sort of made overseas and not quite here in Australia. And I think the biggest thing for us is to have players on full-time contracts, so 12-month contracts at a minimum, and multi-year deals. I think that opens up the Australian market more. It gives more safety for players to come into our market and to, I guess, go in and out a little more easily, which brings in that revenue with it. So I do think, yes, we've gone to home and away, but we're still not actually full-time all year round contracted players. So I think that's probably the biggest step that we'll need to make.
What sort of support could be put in place, I guess, hearing about the eating sort of stuff and some of those sort of things? What do they need? Do they need to hire people for clubs to help people deal with mental health issues and that sort of stuff?
We actually do have a lot of support through PFA, and some clubs are set up quite well with that. But as I said, they're kind of help managing a situation. It's not really the solution, and the solution would to ease those pressures by allowing players to actually play 12 months of the year, or be in a program that gives them access to training facilities for that 12 months, and physio and medical and all the things that you kind of need to be a fully professional athlete all year round, instead of 8 months of the year, and then expected to sort of live like you are doing it full time. So I think we do have those resources, and players have made use of that, and that's kind of where the stats has come from, is more players are making use of those support systems. So it's more of how can we make a platform and an environment that sort of removes those issues.
You said women's football's gone gangbusters internationally, but we're seeing women's sport going gangbusters in Australia, which is a good thing, but perhaps I guess we're seeing athletes female athletes kind of going, which pathway do I play? I'm multi-talented, but which one's going to give me the opportunity to earn more money, things like that, safeguard my future.
Yep.
What do you think football has to do to kind of become more competitive on that front? Because we see it's kind of down the pecking order at the moment when it comes to professionalism and pay and things like that.
Yeah, I think that is something that requires investment to start with, and I think you'll very easily see the rewards from that as well. But Australia is massive in sport, and that's part of our culture. So it's great that we do have competition between codes, and that sort of makes it more exciting as well. But we obviously do need to put more investment into women's football in Australia to sort of remain competitive with the other codes.
We've seen some players walk away from the game at a young age to focus on their careers because, I guess, of the money. Is that a worry that we could lose more young players if it's not financially stable enough?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's kind of what the national team, sort of as a legacy from the World Cup, we want to sort of have that league set up where players can make a career of it, and it's not something that you leave the game and you have to give it up completely. It's something that you could perhaps start a family while you're playing as well, and you do have a little bit more longevity in your career. And I guess everybody does have career changes throughout their lives, but if we can make that later in life for footballers, I think that would be absolutely amazing. And I think, yeah, just continue to feed the national team as well. When we lose players early, I think that's when you start to see big gaps between the age groups in the national team as well.
Do you have confidence in the APL leadership?
I hope so. I think that they've got access to the report, and it's, as I said, it's not something brand new. These issues have been around for a while. So I mean, I do think we are at a time where action does need to be taken. So yeah, I know myself and a lot of the other players and coaching staff all want us to head in the right direction. So I think that's the focus of this report.